Hey folks, I'm here. I'm away from the office all day today, but I thought I need to make this video really. So today we have the rate announcement, and it's tonight. So it's around 6-7 o'clock UK time. But looking at the previous Fed hikes, we've had basically March 17th, 5th of May, 16th of June, 27th of July, 21st of September. Now we've basically gone from 0 all the way up to 3.25% pretty much, and a lot of people try and hack or game the Fed hike announcements, but I just want to show you that it's not as simple as it seems. So I've simply drawn arrows for the last 4 times that they've done a hike, excuse all these other little lines, just make things clearer. But yeah, it's these little arrows. So the first time we had well, this one here in May was if we have a little look-see, a 0.25% hike rate. So it wasn't too much. It's the May one, 0.5. So that, up until that point in time, was one of the biggest rate hikes in history. And what happened? The dollar actually moved down before getting more strength. And it got a bit more strength into the next hike, which was a 0.75, because they've all been 0.75 so far. And what happened? The next 2 days the dollar dumped, which again is quite confusing, because if they're in QT and they're hiking rates, the dollar should go up. But in the first bunch of rate hikes, it actually dived down a bit. Then we had a bit of a rally. We had another one. My fat finger, and again another dollar dump, which is again quite confusing. And then we had rallying afterwards, so there seems to be a bit of a lag with a rate hike. Then we had a rallying dollar pretty much straight away, and that leaves us to right now. So as you can see, the dollar has been falling going into this rate hike, and I wouldn't try and game it. I know a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, try and fade it now or whatever. I think it's a bit of a crapshoot, really. They're controlling the dollar in more ways than you think. It's not just rate hikes. They're doing all sorts of liquidity lines and swaps with other countries. So yeah, I think at the moment I'm quite happy being flat. I have no spot. I have no active trades open. And I'm just going to sit and observe. We all know there's going to be a hike. The hike amount is the main question, though. Is it going to be a 0.5% rate hike? If that happens, the dollar's going to dump, and that's going to send assets flying up again. If it is a 0.75% hike, then yeah, the market is going to look at that as quite hawkish. So yeah, I sit tight at the moment. Now, the funny thing is, completely random point, when we look at the S&P 500, over the last couple of days, it's been surging. You see that big green bar about 3 days ago, this one here. That was quite confusing to me. Now, the reason I'm somewhat confused at the moment, and why I think the market is being artificially propped up or manipulated even more so than it normally is because when you look at all of the main US indices, so all the main US stock markets, it's been booming. Here's the Dow Jones. If we have a look at the NASDAQ, that's been a bit ropey, but most of the US stock markets have been booming. Now, when you look at the main volume for all of these main indices, the lion's share of all stock market volume is with the FANG TM stocks. So Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, Tesla, Microsoft. Now, what the hell have these been doing? So when we look at Meta, they've absolutely dived. Most of these jump downs are like 15 to 20%. Again, I'm on my phone, so this is suboptimal in terms of speed and whatnot, but I'm trying to find date and price range. So if we just go from there down to where we are today, that's a 27% price drop. Don't forget, Facebook is oh dear Lord, fat fingers. Facebook has already dived. Whoops. Oh, I forgot to click off. Here we go. Let's just get rid of that. Don't forget, look how much Facebook has already crashed this year. It's been absolutely horrendous. And people think that we're not in a stock market crash. I mean, just look at that. If you were to take Facebook from, you know, somewhere up here, it's 70% down. If you have a look at Amazon, Amazon has also had a bad earnings call. If you then have a look at, oh dear Lord, right, I'm just going to save this. Date and price, I'm going to hold that, add to favorite. There we go. Again, most of this year it's been falling. It's fallen roughly 40 odd %. But again, even with this recent, oh dear Lord, something like that. It's had about a 15% drop. Has it though? Has it? My fat fingers are deceiving me. It's going to be something like this. Yeah, about a 13% drop, but it doesn't look good. I'm not going to do this again. Apple has fallen a little bit. Netflix, again, has been the basket case of US stocks. I mean, just look how much it's fallen. Google has recently had a bad earnings, and look how much that's gapped down, and it's still dumping. Tesla seems to be doing all right-ish, and now Microsoft, another big gap down. So the reason I'm confused is that all of the main stocks, all of the big ones in the US are absolutely dumping, yet the S&P 500 hasn't yet. This is why I'm still bearish, folks. Like, you have to understand that there is a massive correlation between crypto, or let's take Bitcoin, and the stock market. So the main reason why cryptos have been dumping this year is because the stock market has been dumping this year. Crypto has somewhat almost an 80 to 90% correlation with the Nasdaq. So I see everyone getting bullish as hell at the moment, and I understand why. A lot of the technicals, if I was to get some indicators out, etc., are starting to look somewhat bullish. But from a fundamental thing perspective, everything is ferocious. Ferocious? Atrocious. Horrendous and atrocious will now be known as ferocious. TM, Siam. Yeah, so I'm still I'm bearish as hell. Bearish AF on general markets. And therefore, if stocks do have a bit of a tumble, let's say rate hikes are, I don't know, 0.75, and indices take a tumble, so too will everything else. Again, and this is why I think this is a bit of a bull trap. I think, you remember, crypto always does the thing that screws the person over the most. And when I say the person, the average retail trader. And I think this is just trying to, like, this very sharp move here is to get people very bullish. And I remember when we went from $800 up to here, and everyone was super bullish, and I was again very, very bearish throughout this rally. And yeah, so this is, I still think we got a little bit more down. Will we get back to $800 or 900, whatever it was? I don't know. But yeah, crypto seems to be a bit of a down day today. Quant, which I've been stalking, as you know, is now starting to move down very slowly. Come on, 140. Simon's little white hole needs to be filled here. And they normally do. And again, Raven has started. That should, yeah, I've been waiting for Raven to get down here for a while now. It has consolidated below that base support, and it's creating a bit of a bearish rectangle, or bearish flag, or sorry, bearish channel, more of a rectangle. But yeah, that should start breaking down at some point. GMX, there we go, it got rejected. See, this is why yesterday I was umming and ahhing, depending on which lines. Now the fact that it has bounced or is somewhat reversed, my GMX, I'm thinking somewhere around here will be quite nice for this to see. And if it gets, actually, this is not good for GMX. If I'm correct, if GMX does make its way back down to here, what that's going to create is some sort of shoulder, head, shoulder, some sort of neckline around here, and then we're looking at sort of $20. So it'll be interesting. I'm not saying it will. I'm saying if it makes its way back down to 32, then it's pandemonium on our hands. So yeah, I refuse to get bullish at the moment. There's just too much bullshit shenanery going on at the moment. And when things seem crazy, and you can't quite make sense of it, don't beat yourself up. We live in a world with trillions, quadrillions worth of variables, and some of the time, if you're just confused, it means you just don't have the data. And I don't have the data. None of us retail Muppets have the real alpha. We don't know what the big boys are doing behind the scenes. So we're just using our tea leaves and breadcrumbs to try and figure out what the hell is going on. And yeah, going back to Doge, I'm not YOLOing way up here, even though it does seem like Elon's got more things planned for Doge and Twitter. I would much rather a bit of a retrace first. So yeah, going into the rate hike tonight, I'm just going to sit on my hands and observe, and I highly recommend everyone else does that as well. So yeah. Right, toodaloo, have a good one, bye.